got all the items, the agenda items on the table.
Yeah.
And we just need to satisfy one or two parties'
Questions. Councillor Bailey.
We've got enough staff to answer questions.
Yep.
So,
Paul.
Councillor Bailey, can you please pose?
Thank you, Chair. My one relates to the paper on HBRC procurement policy, item number 10, and page 40, paragraph 11. For a start, there was a bit of confusion for me, a lack of understanding around this process, and I think this has gone through and explained it really well, so thanks for that. But my question, I suppose, is more of a comment, is when you talk about the legal implications of this other type of variation would need to be examined carefully, both in relation to the PTOM and because possible legal challenge from unsuccessful tender applicants. And I could be wrong in my interpretation, but what that's telling me is that if someone comes in with a lowball tender, which means that they have to drive down staff benefits, we can't go back and review that at a later date with a view to putting that up for fear of a legal challenge from unsuccessful tender applicants who haven't come in with lowball tenders. Am I reading that wrong, or can someone enlighten me on that?
I think that because Mrs. Redgrave wrote this, but we had discussed this, and that's, yeah, I think you're right, that unsuccessful applicants could have potentially argue that their tenders were higher because they were prepared to pay higher wages, or part of that reason. So, yeah, that's exactly how it's intended to mean. Yeah.
Thanks for that, Liz.
So if I could have a question as well. So it says in this paper that the successful tenderer says that they are paying above the minimum wage, but they don't say they're paying at the living wage. So presumably they're paying somewhere between the two. Do we have any sense of where between the two they sit?
I personally don't. I'm sorry, Councillor. And I'm not sure that Mrs. Redgrave would either, but I could ask her.
I think it would be helpful because I think the gap is about $5 or $4.
It is about that.
Yeah. So it would be comforting to us, I suppose, to think they're on the high end of that rather than the low end.
We could have that addressed when we refer this to Council on Wednesday, that answer to that. Right. Okay. Here's
Mrs. Redgrave now,
right
maybe
now.
she can answer.
Sorry, the podcast only just came back on.
That's all right. Can we just got a quick question for you, Anne? GoBus have indicated that they pay above the minimum wage, but below the living wage. Do you know exactly whereabouts on that spectrum they are in terms of what they pay?
No, I don't. Melissa got an audit opinion around how we could require that, and I've checked our contract. We've got some audit ability of the contract, but it relates to the way the contract's operated for us, not to conditions like that. I mean, perhaps we should have that checked legally, but that's my impression from reading it.
So we could find it out, but it won't be by Wednesday. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I could try asking. It'd have to be that the organisation was willing to divulge that.
So I understand
sorry,
we couldn't require it.
$17.70.
Just
Right.
follow.
I'll check that.
Just following up, I take it then, paragraph 17, when GoBus North Island manager is offered to speak to council to answer questions about staff payment and welfare, we could perhaps pose that question to him in writing, or however, save him coming in, obviously, and we can get an answer in due course.
We certainly can.
Thank you, councillors. Councillor Hewitt, while you're absent, we took the liberty of passing everything. No, we didn't. We've got everything on the table. Can you ask your questions, please?
Any topic now. Without a question on one, but no.
I did. So I'm in the procurement policy, and our attachments are on page 85, and I've got a couple of questions in here. One of them, I see that when operator, and I'm wondering why we aren't supporting other local businesses in Central Hawke's Bay. James, it might be for you. Sorry, James, if you could go to page 85 and I'm on 10.10. I see in terms of service providers for the Waipak Central Hawke's Bay depot that they are only frequenting one of the local businesses, and I'm wondering how can other businesses get opened? In our procurement we support local rate paying businesses.
Right, okay. I'm sorry, councillor, I sent that notification to you.
I'm in the attachment. Well, I'm actually on my electronic copy, so I'll have a look at what page it is in there.
It's page, what did you say, 85? Yeah,
Oh, because you added the other thing in.
What's the paragraph number in the procurement policy? Debbie.
Yeah, hang on, I'll find it in here. On page 59 in the written, and 85 if you're online. 10.10. Our policy is to support only one of the local businesses in Central Hawke's Bay, whereas there are more garages and they are local, and I just thought it was contrary to our procurement policy 7.1 a little bit further on.
So, Stacey's here, I don't know, we got a special arrangement with Working Motors and the last service station, is that?
Well, I think it's all the motors should be all serviced in Hastings. They don't service much more than this.
So Stacey, do we
I've
have
got a
any
very good cousin down there.
particular reason for having dedicated relationship with those two?
Just to be clear, I don't have any special relationship with the other garages.
Is this in regards to the motor vehicle?
Servicing. Correct.
We get all of our servicing, most of it done out at our workshop at Guppy Road. So what were you referring to
Well, it
there?
says here that if vehicles located in Wairoa or Waipukurau are serviced, then they
this
are
is
done
in
it. So we're specifying a business,
Yep.
one business over a range in the region, and I just think.
Oh, so this is in our safe driving policy. Okay, so that's just purely out of convenience, so can definitely be looked at if there's others.
It'll be
that
good
would be up-
because they're
Yep.
500 metres apart, are they? 200 metres apart?
Well,
I'm just driving it,
But having said that, it's not unusual for an entity to have a single preferred supplier for the sakes of it making sure that the accounts are there, audit things, all the rest of it's done, quality control, etc., etc.
Well, they drive past one garage to get to another, and we're favouring one local business over another, and in our procurement policy 7.1, a little bit further on, it says something different. So I'm just trying to give
Yes,
all
it's a fair
businesses a
point.
fair go.
It's a fair point.
Well, I think Shane shift all the Hastings in.
So,
Can I offer a solution, Chair? When this policy is reviewed, I mean, I would have assumed that this sort of, whilst we've named a particular business in there, that's put out to tender on a regular basis, whether it's 5 years or whatever it is.
yes, I tend to agree with that. In fact, I wonder whether the wording in future, if it is reviewed, could refer to the preferred provider in those in Waipukurau or.
Yes, certainly that can be looked at.
My other, because and I'll just take you on to the buying local a little bit further on in the report with different page numbers. HBRC supports purchasing from local suppliers on the benefits this provides the local community. So I would have thought Vaughan Choke
Sorry, it
Motors could
appears
have had
they've
fair.
attached the health and safety policy over our vehicle procurement policy.
So
So
Ruahine Motors is not a local supplier?
for
There are other-
servicing, it's very minimal. There's maybe 2 vehicles that go to that establishment.
You got the gist of that, James? Thank you. My other one, and I can't find the page number, we get a very generous discount for the diesel and petrol if you have a card. How can I get one of those cards? Because that'd be really helpful.
Putting aside all private and personal interest.
Just to drive to council. How can we get councillors get that discount?
just go there when you've got to do council.
I only do council stuff in my car.
I want one for my motorbike too.
That's a good discount.
Well, thank you,
Well, is there anything else that arises out of the that motor vehicle policy or any other of our papers here? Anyone else got any questions?
Is that yourself?
No, they've attached the wrong
It
thing.
appears not. Do we have a mover?
Sorry,
Do we have a mover?
sorry, Chair, can I just check that councillors have all noted the fact that this is the last time you'll hear of the Woodham efficiency review. We have actions arising from all of those recommendations, and this was the effort to put that to bed effectively. So there are some things which are ongoing, part of the LTP, part of the organisational change process, but I don't propose coming back to the Woodham review again.
I want to see a copy of the Woodham review framed and in the food of the council. That will go into good work.
Sorry, having just mentioned that, there is one question I'd like to ask. There was a discussion, a recommendation about having in-house legal counsel. That's not there. Has that been dismissed? Well, I don't remember reading it anyway.
That was given to compliance officers.
Sorry, you are correct, it's not on the list. I don't know how that fell off.
So the Woodham review lives another day.
No, it does not. There has been a review done of our legal services, and you might recall as part of our LTP discussions, we brought you a paper for probably 6 weeks ago now, in which we felt on balance that our legal expenditure doesn't justify the creation of in-house counsel at the moment. We're spending about $350,000 annually on... Yep. So we've had some big peaks in recent times related to Havelock North Water and more latterly the Water Conservation Order, but generally $350,000 over quite a broad range of different types of legal advice, and the ability to have an in-house counsel that would cover the majority of those and make a saving seemed pretty unlikely from our analysis of the work that we do procure.
So Ms Chin provides perfectly adequate legal advice for us across the board.
Ms Chen doesn't provide any legal advice for us at this point in time.
I'm happy to provide it for you. I can do it right now.
Are there any other matters arising out of those? We've got one resolution on the table. It's moved by Councillor Barker, seconded by Councillor Belford. My memory serves. Bevan. And Councillor Barker would like to speak to the 4 items. No, he wouldn't. Are there any other? Councillor Bevan or Belford? Councillor Wilson.
Just a quick comment on the Lawa swimming site. It's fantastic. Just pass that message back through to the regional sector group next time you're there. The only question I have with it, just perhaps in the form of feedback, is for example, the water or river at the moment has an E. coli issue which says swim with caution, and I think it's very well explained, but it doesn't explain the issues with E. coli as an example. I see West Shore's got enterococci issues, which is a mouthful in anyone's language, and doesn't really say what that issue would be if you were swimming. So while people are urged caution, I just wonder whether there is a chance as this thing keeps getting built up, because I know it's been a work in progress, that feedback may be useful.
So that information that's currently on the website is about to be updated. It was going to be updated before Christmas, and I believe there's been delays in doing so. There's been a whole bunch of work done nationally to improve the public understanding of the very issues that you're raising. So you're quite correct. It's not as helpful as it could be at the moment on the website as to what the implications are, what it means. So all that, there's been a swimmability module upgrade done for Lawa, and it was supposed to go live pre-Christmas, and we're just now waiting for it. Sorry?
There'll be one upgrade in December and another one in January.
Right.
Okay.
And we're also just about to release our swim through summer campaign.
Yep. So it'll be improved, and hopefully do a better job of communicating the issues you raised.
Thank you.
Thank you, councillors. And just before closing and asking for a vote on this matter, I'd just like to comment and thank staff, even though it appears as though we've just ridden roughshod over your quarter of your year's work. We haven't. Each report was read very diligently, I'm absolutely certain. Just time pressures today has made that very difficult. But thank you for the work that you do, and we recognise it. Viv, for example, your report read, noted. So, on that note, can I ask whether you support the resolution, the recommendations proposed by Councillor Barker? That's an aye for that. Those against? No. The recommendations are carried. Where are we up to now? We're up to a workshop, are we? So we just need to... No, sorry, Sorry? Well, nearly. There being no items of business not on the agenda, I now declare this Corporate and Strategic Committee closed.